The most valuable lesson I would like to talk about this morning or this afternoon, is that it's not only okay to learn as you go, but it's also okay to learn from your children. I was happy to hear both of these brothers talk about the experience that they had with their fathers and how they could impart so much. But it's very unfortunate that not everybody gets to have that testimony. Some people grew up and they didn't have the best examples as fathers, so they may not know the best way to go about it. And sometimes that can put a lot of pressure on a man because you want to do the best to try to do the opposite of maybe what you saw your father do, or sometimes you just feel like there's supposed to be one right way to do everything. But I learned that there's no manual in being a father. There's no one right way to do it. Yes, there are some guidelines that everybody should follow, but there's no one right way. There's no foolproof manual. And like I said, sometimes we don't have the best examples. So I've learned that it is okay to learn as you go, but it's also okay to learn from your children. I've learned that what works for one may not work for all when it comes to children. But I thank God for all three of my children because they all taught me something that made me a better father. I look at my baby girl, Nia, and she taught me the importance, not only is it okay, but it's important as a man to show affection to your children. I'm thankful for her because she's the one that still lets me hug on her, she still lets me kiss her, she'll still hold my hand, even though she's getting bigger, but she's the one that taught me the importance of affection, and it's okay as a man to show affection. And your kids need that affection from you as a man. So I thank you for that lesson, Nia. From my son, DJ, I learned about compassion. And you would think that's crazy that a child can teach you about compassion, but when I say that that boy is compassionate, that boy is compassionate. I think about when my father passed away, how there was a moment that I broke down, and it was surprisingly his arms that grabbed me and held me as I cried. I'm supposed to be the one that's holding him, but he was the one holding me. And he showed me as a man it's okay to be compassionate and show that compassion to another man. He also showed me the importance of being yourself and not letting anybody make you feel bad for being yourself. Or as I like to say it, being you unapologetically. That's right. Now I still got to give him some guidelines every now and then, but he still told me, he's very much taught me how to be yourself and not worry about what other people are thinking and saying about you. And I thank him for that lesson. And last but not least, from my daughter Nyla. She's the one that I learned this most valuable lesson from, that it's okay to learn from your children. She was the one that taught me how to empathize with my children. She was the one that showed me how to not just look at my children as my children, but see them as young adults that are growing up. She showed me how to look at them as individuals and that they're not all three the same. She taught me about respecting boundaries, and just because I am affectionate doesn't mean that she's as affectionate as I am. They were hard lessons to learn, but she taught me those lessons. She taught me how to listen and not just have the do as I say mentality, but actually listen to their needs and listen to where they're coming from, listen to their perspective. Not saying that they're always right, because most of the time they are wrong, but it's still okay to listen and just be that ear and just not try to talk over top of them all the time, but actually just listen and hear what they're saying to you. She taught me how to learn from my kids. And so I'm honored by all three of my children this morning because them three together has made me the best father that I can be. And so, again, in my conclusion, just learn, fathers, it's okay to learn as you go. We're not gonna be perfect, we're gonna make mistakes, but learn to listen to your kids. And like Deacon Eddie and others, and Lachey said, trust God, and everything is gonna be all right. Thank you.